Alright, this is Cartographers. Welcome. And Cartographers is a flip and write game in which we're all trying to, we're map makers and we're trying to make maps of the land. And we are trying to fulfill different Queen's edicts up here. These are the way we're going to score points at the end of the game.
Can they see those on camera?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Are those showing on camera? Okay. All right. So this game is played over 4 seasons or rounds, and those are going to be visible. It's going to keep track of. We're going to keep track of those up here on this card, and each season is going to score 2 different edicts from the Queen. So spring is going to score A and B. Summer is going to score B and C. Winter will score D and A, and then fall will score C and D. So you can kind of keep that in mind for your long-range planning of your kingdom, that each one of these edicts is going to be scored 2 times. So the way we fill out our maps is we're going to flip over one of these cards, and I'll shuffle them up again before we started with the temple ruins. I'll explain temple ruins a little bit later. So we're going to flip over a card, and it's going to have 1 or 2 little shapes on it, and it's going to have usually 2 different types of terrain. And these are the terrain types here. There's forest, village, farm, water, monster, and mountain terrains. Then there are some spaces that have temple ruins on them. So you'll be each one of us individually and simultaneously. We're going to decide where we want to put this shape and which type of terrain it's going to be in. And then we'll fill it in anywhere on our map. You cannot fill it into spaces that are already filled. Mountains count as filled spaces. Obviously you can't overlap other spaces that have already been filled in or go off the edge of the map. And there's kind of grid here, the letters here and the numbers here to help you figure out where you're going to put those. So then after that's done, we'll check there's a little time stamp up at the top. Each season has a time on it. So we're going to keep flipping cards until we reach or exceed 8. And if we get to 8 or more after we fill in our terrain types, then that'll be the end of that season. We'll score it based on the 2 edicts that we're scoring that round, and then we'll write our scores down here. There's one for each season, and then we'll just shuffle those back in and move on to the next round. We will also add in a monster each time. And so I said I was going to talk about temple ruins. When a temple ruins card comes up, we'll flip over another card after that, and what the temple ruins means is that the terrain that you draw that time, or the terrain you fill in, has to, if possible, cover one of the temple ruin spaces. You can cover up a temple ruin space at any time, even if there's not a temple ruin card out there. But when these cards come out, you do have to be able to fill in a temple ruins space. If you can't, then you just fill in 1 blank space anywhere on your board with any of the terrain types.
Any of the terrain types?
Right.
Okay.
So instead of being able to fill in 6 or 5 spaces, you're only going to get to fill in 1 if you don't have a temple ruin available to fill in that time. If a monster comes out, and there are several different monsters, there will be 1 mixed in each round.
Is there already 1 mixed?
There's 1 in there already, right. And if we don't get to that monster, it'll stay in there and we'll add another one. If we do see the monster in the round, then it's going to be discarded. We won't get back to that one. So there will be at least 1, potentially more monsters in the deck each time. So if a monster comes out, everybody passes their map, the direction of the arrows that are shown on there, and your neighbor is going to fill in the monster space for you. Monsters mess things up. When scoring happens, every blank space you have touching a monster space is going to be -1. You're not scoring the monsters, you're scoring the blank spaces. So if I had a blank space here and 2 monsters adjacent to it, it's still going to count 1 for that blank space, not 1 per monster. But your neighbors are going to try to mess you over as best they can by filling in monsters where they're going to touch a lot of empty spaces. Also, these mountain terrain spaces, if you completely surround a mountain if you just cover it in with any terrain types, even monsters.
Just the 4 sides.
Right, all 4 sides. Then you get to fill in one of these, you cross off one of these coins, and you'll fill those in at the end. That'll be another thing we total up at the end of the round, and coins that you have crossed off are worth 1 point apiece. You don't get to spend them, but they're points, which is always good. Points are always nice.
Trying to work this a little better. Yeah.
Sloshing
Ironically,
around a little bit.
well, the table, we clean it so much now that it's like,
It's not sticky.
no, it's, I don't know if you. All right. There we go. Hopefully.
Okay, questions?
Okay, you said something scored A and B and something scored C and D. I missed that
Right, it
part.
tells you right here.
Okay.
What season we're on tells you what edicts are going to score at the end of this
Okay,
round.
so this one's spring is only scoring these
Yes.
two.
Right.
So, okay.
Right, spring is only going to score A and B, so that's the only thing you're going to get points for this time. However, A will score again later, B will score again later, so
Okay.
Right.
So you're going to try to get stuff in that formation,
Yes.
if possible.
yeah, so I'll read A here because the text is very small. It says earn 1 reputation star, which is indicating right here. Earn 1 reputation star for each row and column, so row and column this way, with at least 1 forest space. The same forest space can be scored in a row and a column.
Okay. So 4 spaces and rows and columns for.
Forest, 1 point per row and column that has a
Okay.
forest space.
Where do we keep track of that?
It'll score at the end, and then we'll write them down here.
Oh, okay, down there. Okay.
Yeah. So for A, you'll total up your points and write it there, and B,
Got it.
and then we'll write. We'll
The total
actually,
for the round.
yeah, you'll put the A right in that little box, the B in there, and then that's for coins, and that's for monsters, and then you total it right there.
Right.
Okay. You
Okay.
have to write kind of small,
And
and
this
these are
one-
blowing up larger.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
what I was
this
just
one,
thinking.
the cauldrons, it says earn 1 reputation star for each empty space surrounded on all 4 sides by filled spaces or the edge of the map.
Okay.
I'll read that one again. Earn 1 reputation star for each empty space surrounded on all 4 sides by filled spaces or the edge of the map.
So in other words, nothing around them.
Yeah, well, something that's completely, a space that's completely closed in.
But
Within
filled
it.
in, but
Right.
not.
Edge,
Oh,
yeah,
so if it's an empty space.
yes, an
Got
empty space.
it.
Empty
Okay.
space that's completely surrounded either by terrain or edge of the map.
Okay.
That kind of stinks because
Okay.
it's going to hurt you in other instances. You know.
Right,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
And then just kind of looking ahead, this one that'll score next time. Earn 3 reputation stars for each cluster of village spaces that's adjacent to 3 or more different terrain types.
Oof.
And a cluster can be just one. It's just adjacently connected
Right.
clusters of the same terrain type.
You can
even if it's
score
just
more than
one.
one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And earn 2 reputation stars on this one for each water space adjacent to a mountain space, and earn 1 reputation star for each farm space adjacent to a mountain.
So farms and water.
Farms and water adjacent to mountains.
Clusters next to 3 empty spaces surrounded, and trees next to.
Yeah, that one will be challenging.
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume we can't get monster on the first, but.
If so, I would probably. Well, we could.
Oh.
I drew
It'd just
that
be
once when we
early,
were.
yeah.
Yeah, it would. The monster would be out there, all by itself. We'd know where we had to work around.
Yeah.
Okay, so marshlands, and that's got a timestamp on it of 2. So you can choose. Well, that's the one we used for our example. You can choose forest or water in that T shape, and you can flip or rotate the shape any way you want.
You can pick.
So forest or water in a T shape.
Right.
Yeah, and like she said, you can do this or this. It doesn't matter as long as it's the right shape.
And if you're playing this at home, normally you draw the little terrain symbol on your map, and I can pull one out of the box to show you when we're done. But for purposes of playing online, we thought it would be easier just to fill in the color. So that's what I'm going to do right here.
Oh, you filled in one of your temples.
I did. I should have probably done it like that, but
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, I'm still debating. And does the whole thing have to be the same color?
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You're thinking
Yes,
about.
the whole shape has to be the
Yeah.
same terrain.
I thought about that too, because you could start working on your mountains. Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing it still,
And you don't have to start in a corner.
but
And other cards that
forests
come
and
out, you're not
scoring.
required to connect. You can play all over the board.
Well,
So
if you can surround a mountain, the other benefit is you'll immediately get the coins too.
Right.
So, actually, there's a lot of good reasons to do that, but
I kinda wish I would have played mine here. That was,
I don't know. The water may be the best bet,
I'm an impulsive cartographer. That was not the best place to put that.
but it's not going to score in spring. Is all.
You can't possibly know what the next one's going to be, and you're getting 3 edge just like I am.
Right.
So, yeah, it's very early.
So it's 3 and then right. Yeah.
3 across and 2 down the middle.
Yeah.
And then like that.
Yeah, it'd be those two if you were going that way. Yep. Okay, so Larry used water. Okay, and then I'll just let you flip the next one over since you're close to the deck. Alright, so that's homestead.
Or farms.
So you can use village or the fields or farms. And both of those are going to score later, so.
Interesting. Again, it's a smaller tee this time though.
Right.
Man, that is rough. Now the bad thing is we're using pen. I've done this where we made mistakes, and having a
Yes.
pencil was nice.
Having a pencil is good.
All right, and now we've got 4,
Okay, so
so
Larry's
we're
is
halfway
here.
to.
Oh, I surrounded a mountain too.
Oh, then you
Already.
immediately fill in a coin.
Right. You want me to just mark that for you?
You want to just do it in red since it's my color, if you would.
That's fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
There you
Okay.
go.
Or we're supposed to fill it in. I guess I'll do it. Like
Plus,
that.
that'll be kind of nifty in D when that scores.
Yeah, there's no downside. Yeah. All right.
All
we
right.
need
So you
another
did
card?
field,
Yes.
and you did. Is that brown representing?
Oh,
The village or
crap.
the
I thought
field?
it was the field.
Field?
Fields
Yeah.
are supposed to be
Yeah,
yellow.
that's fine. No, you just need to
Just
remember.
so you know,
just
which,
remember
if
to
you're
use
using
that,
brown
yeah.
for field, just so you use a different
Okay.
color for the village, just so you know which.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to
terrain
use the
type
red
is
for
which.
the village.
Okay.
So.
That's
Great. Okay, so that card's done, and we're only at 4 on our time, so we're
so we
still in
got
spring.
time. Yeah.
All right,
Forest.
Forgotten Forest.
Oh,
And with this symbol
interesting.
here, if you choose
Yeah.
this one, that's only fills in 2 spaces, you get a coin. So you can take the smaller area in the coin, or the larger area filled in and no coin.
See, for you, that's even better because you've already got 1. So now, of course, we know that's going to score this round.
Yeah.
Man, I'm getting paralysis going here.
That's a very thorny forest I drew over there.
Think which of those I'm gonna
Man, this
use.
is a hard choice, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I at least get a coin.
That's what I was thinking, doing that over here.
What's cool is we're all using the same cards, but yet we're all very different.
Yeah.
You know.
We've all got really different maps going already.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
So 1,
Now we're
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
So we got
still springtime.
6, 7. So this one's water or farms.
Yes.
Hmm.
Water or farm and an L shape.
I don't love doing it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. All right. Yeah. All right.
Two, three.
Now I'm giving up a ruin.
Think. This is probably wrong color.
If I want to do farms or water, though, I don't know.
Well, they both score in.
This one is
D.
going to be 2 reputation stars for each water space adjacent to a mountain, and 1 for each farm next to or adjacent to a mountain.
Yeah, orthogonally,
Right.
not
So I
diagonal.
think-
So. That was why I hated having to do that, but oh well. It is what it is.
But you don't need water and farms. It's water or farm.
Right.
Right. They're both
Right.
going to score. Just the water
The
scores
same,
1 extra
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
If that blue looks all that blue. There, that's better blue.
I like your guys' outlines better.
It can be helpful at times. Yeah. All right. So we know the next one's gonna be in 6.
Yeah, we're at
7,
7.
8, 9.
There are a
All
couple
right.
in there that are 0, but
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
yeah.
So yeah,
we're
this
at
is
9.
the end of this
so,
one.
Right. This will be the last one
Treetop
for this
Village.
round.
And then what was C for villages? They need, or it was
Has to be
clusters.
3 different types.
Villages that are a cluster, excuse me, that has 3 different terrain types adjacent to it. That's what I'm kind of working on here. I've got a village cluster that's got 2 different terrain types adjacent right
I'm
now.
just gonna go for easy. So go 3 on the side. Yeah, just do. Because we know we're scoring now, so.
Let's see.
No monster yet. So we're adding a monster too.
That's right, isn't it? Am I looking at that wrong? Yes, I am looking at that wrong.
Well,
No, it could go
could
down
be.
this way. I was thinking this way, but yeah, it'd go down that way.
Yeah.
3
yeah.
spaces this way. Okay.
Sometimes I just turn the card because it's hard for me to, yeah, because you can't flip it,
Yeah.
but you can turn it.
Flip
Yeah.
the card like that. There we
Yeah,
go.
there you go. Yeah. Hmm.
Ooh, no.
Yep, there you go.
Despite my trying to color in that box that didn't belong, wide pencil would be kind of nice.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the other nice thing about these, though, is it does make it easier to score. All right, so now we're to scoring the first round, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yep, we've come to the end of spring, so we score. So we'll look at this green bough one first. Earn 1 reputation star for each row and column with at least 1 forest space. So I've
Oh,
got
see,
1,
I was
2,
getting
3.
more forest in
Oh.
a single column, and
Oh.
I'm only.
Well,
row
you've got
and column.
you've got a lot.
But I got a lot
So-
of rows, but
Yes.
not a lot of columns. So I get 2 columns and
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You did pretty good.
7.
Yeah, you wanted it
So
long.
I got 9.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I messed up
Use
here,
the
but
skinny.
oh well.
oh, you're red. So for A, you've got 9.
Mm-hmm.
Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, right? Rows and columns?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 14.
14. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going this way. 1, 2, 3,
So 8.
8. Yeah. All right, and then look at the cauldrons, which is earn 1 reputation star for each empty space surrounded on all 4 sides by filled spaces or the edge of the map.
Nothing
I got
for me.
1.
I got nothing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that one. That was- yeah.
Nothing there. And then you get 1 point for each coin. So you've got Larry's got 1.
And no
I've
monsters.
got 1.
So
No
16.
monsters. Right.
So Larry's got
Larry's got 10.
10. You've got
And I've
10.
got 10.
Right.
And Pat's cheating.
Cheating
somehow.
already.
No, I just went whole hog. The trees aren't going to score me again. So doing that now is great, but
Nope, they'll score again one
well,
more.
once more,
One
but
more.
not, you know.
Okay.
Okay, so those are going to get shuffled back in, and we will add 1 monster that will also get shuffled in.
Monster.
And they all shuffle back into.
Right. Yep. Okay, and we're going to take spring out, and we're going to be in summer now. Summer.
B and C. So empty spaces or yeah. See, you're.
I was
Well,
thinking
you're
ahead a
all
little
set.
bit for
I haven't
right, trying to
done
think ahead a little bit for
anything.
this one.
Yeah. So I'm. And I'm really in trouble because you have to have 3 different ones, right?
Right.
Ugh. Larry at least has 3 different things out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've got some trouble getting 3 different things around certain things. So,
Yeah.
and it's 3 different things around
A village.
Villages.
a village.
Yeah, a village cluster. 3 reputation stars for each cluster of village spaces that is adjacent to 3 or more different terrain
See, I
types.
have no village clusters.
See, she's
so-
in
And
good
then
shape. Yeah.
B, so we won't be thinking about this one this time. So B then is one star
Empty
for
spots.
each empty space completely surrounded.
Okay, so first summer card
Um,
is water and farms.
Okay.
Okay, so I need to be able to think about village clusters.
right.
But
Quickly shush my phone. Sorry about that.
does a mountain space count as a filled
That is a
space
filled
for one
space.
of those?
Yes.
For B?
Yes. Yeah, so if you were able to,
So what I'm
If you had-
thinking is doing like this,
right,
and then that would
left-
leave
left
that empty
one,
space.
that would count. Yes, it
But
would.
then I wouldn't be able to completely surround that mountain, most likely.
Right.
But
Well,
then there's certain
yeah.
things that allow you to fill in one space.
There are, and you can do that
Rarely,
after,
yes.
if you're, when we're done scoring B. Although I think B might score, yeah, B's gonna score in fall, so. Oh, actually, fall should come before winter. Alright, so the last round, that one won't score. Okay, now I just
But
gotta,
do I want to do that to get me points for that, or do I just want to surround that mountain in water for D later, or C? That would get me a little bit, yeah, then that doesn't help me with C at all.
Let's see if I do that.
Actually, what probably would help me is get a feel.
And I'm not saying that if I'm winning, it's because I named my village, but, you know, it is ironic.
I like the art on these cards too.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Alright, so that was 2 of 8. Okay, Hamlet.
Hmm.
This is a 1. So
We need those.
Yes, we need villages. And you could get a coin if you use that smaller.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
we don't need orange, so my villages are gonna end up being orange. 'Cause it's
Villages are
the closest
gonna be
thing to
orange,
red
that's
I've
fine.
got in my pin case.
So I'm gonna get 1 coin here and
We're doing village this time.
yeah, because you get a coin for that, and I'm gonna get a coin because I use that shape. So I'm getting 2 coins.
I don't want to make that a separate village. I don't want it connected to this because that would be still one village. You really probably should not cover up another ruin.
Is there a negative for having all of it in one?
All of what in one.
The village in this instance?
There's not a negative, but I'll score it. I'll be able to score it again if they're not connected. Because if I connect the villages, they'll be one big cluster instead of 2 separate ones to score.
And you get 3 per, is that
for
right?
a cluster of villages,
Oh,
right?
okay, okay. I see what
So
you're
I'm
doing.
trying to see if I can connect it to both of those. I don't think I can. I'm just gonna have to fill in something else later. Without covering up a ruin. I could if I covered up that ruin space, but probably better hang on to a couple of those.
Yeah, hopefully I won't regret, because I ate a ruin already too.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't. Well, yeah, you did.
I did. I
too.
covered one. Yeah, right.
No, and you got a
Here's
coin
one
for
right there.
yours.
Yeah.
That's why, yeah, I broke down, and hopefully it'll
Yeah,
pay
I
off.
could
We'll
cover a
see.
ruin and attach it to, well, I'll put it down here. Use this little area.
You doing the little one?
Yeah.
You're going for the coin as well.
Right.
So we're at 3, 4. Water.
Okay, and we get, keeping in mind that'll score two points for every water adjacent to a mountain next season.
Oh, and the temple counts, even though I haven't filled it in for surrounding the mountain?
No.
No.
No, the ruins are empty spaces. The mountains are filled spaces.
Oh, okay.
Right, it won't count as a filled space until you
Fill it.
fill it.
Fill it.
Right, until you fill it. It's pretty straightforward. All right, let's just. Let's just put that down here.
I'm not doing very good at scoring B either. I just realized.
And I'll take a coin for that.
Oh, I do get a coin for just using the 3 for though.
Right.
So.
Okay, so we're at
we're at
4, so we
4.
keep going in
Wow.
summer. And there's an outpost ruins,
So we
so
gotta
go ahead
put
and flip
another-
over another card.
This is where we have to fill in an outpost with.
That's a
whatever-
monster.
Oh, and it's a monster, so monster space just has to go on an outpost.
So we have to use that pattern on it, and it has to fill out a ruin.
Right.
And for in-game, or for scoring, it's negative for every empty spot around
That
it.
is adjacent to a monster.
Edges don't count.
Right. Correct. Okay. And we pass clockwise.
Oh, shit.
Are you filling in your own? You can't fill in your own
But
monster.
I like that one. Larry, you should fill this
so
the
Larry,
rest of the
don't
way
fill
in.
in his monster
Damn it.
space here.
No, don't listen to her. She's wrong.
So who starts?
All of us at once, basically.
So you'll fill in Pat's, Pat will fill in mine, and I will fill in yours. Right? Am I visualizing that correctly? And you do have to cover an outpost ruin if possible.
Yeah. Ugh. Can't hurt you as bad as I would think. Well, not that I'm evil.
And it's that little short T shape.
Think. Well, I messed up. If I do that, I won't do that. I'm giving you a side on a mountain, but I'll do it.
Yeah, I give you a side on a mountain too, but
I did not give you a side on a mountain.
Well, I wanted to.
Cattywampus from a mountain.
Yeah. Where am I at? What did you do to me? Ugh, Larry, why? That is really not helping. I helped you. I even showed you where to put it.
show me where not to put it.
That doesn't hurt you for the cauldrons too bad though. I mean,
No,
you could
no,
score a
it's
cauldron with those
fine.
monsters.
Fine. All right. So now,
I just
does,
figured
that,
those are harder to fill in.
does that monster come out or does he stay in?
He stays there.
Ugh.
Well, no, I'm sorry, he doesn't. He comes out because we won't have to
All
deal
right, but
with
the
that
outpost
monster
ruin
again.
doesn't count towards the season, though,
Correct.
does it?
Right, and neither does the monster. So we just
Okay,
keep going in
so-
summer.
All right.
Oh no!
Bugbear assault.
Another monster.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
he rotates the same way.
2 then 2. Oh
Ugh.
god. Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's special.
Special kind of suck.
Do monsters count as a third type?
A terrain type.
Yeah.
Ooh, does he have to go
As far as
over?
mountains, yes, they do.
No, as far as scoring, yeah, they do. I see them down there.
Does he have to go over a ruin too? Because or is that
No.
only for the
No.
last card?
Yeah.
Just just on that last one. We already fulfilled the ruin requirement. So we got 2 and a gap and 2.
Man, ugh.
Larry, you're in pretty decent shape for this one, actually. Not too terrible.
See, I can't put it adjacent to this one because that would give you your third. Yeah, because this is water,
That would give me a third terrain type.
which I don't want to do.
You can do
Do
that.
the same thing over there. Man, Larry, that wasn't helpful at all. What is wrong with you? Why? Why?
Alright, I think
Alright.
I will go there.
Mm.
There.
Boy, that's a dangerous part of my map, apparently. All
It
kinds
is.
of monsters
Monsterville.
down there. Okay, so monsters come out in summer.
Yes, monsters in summer.
Evidently.
But no more
Alright.
bugbear assaults.
So we're out of monsters for this season because there's not another one in
Right.
there.
And we're at 4.
Temple
Yes, another
Ruins.
Temple
Another
Ruins.
run.
Farms and homestead.
Homestead. Okay, well at least you get to decide where it goes yourself this time.
So, so we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So last one is probably coming up next. Probably, maybe. I need.
That would work. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, that works. 'Cause that's 1, 2, 3.
I think. I wish I could make that adjacent to a mountain, but I don't think. I could, but I would rather get the green gold plains points for it. So I'm gonna put my homestead right here. So that will give me a village with 3. Oh, actually, that one already had 3 terrain types. Forgot about the mountain. And then this one has got 3 different terrain types.
Oh, does a mountain count too?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's up here under terrain types too. So.
Well, I didn't
And
know if it
monsters
was on
even
the
do also.
bottom thing. Interesting.
Yep.
I didn't see that. So I've got 1, 2. Just need one more on this one, and I can score it. So hopefully, the next one will be good to me.
Oh. No, because that wouldn't be a third type on that farmstead, because I've already got farms next to it. I need something else next to that.
For this one?
Yeah.
Well, you could expand it, and then you'd have your 3, but you'd only get 3.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do this still.
But it's at least 3 if you do that. Yeah. So that's probably the safe way. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can fill in
Yeah, that actually works
get another
too.
coin that way.
Yeah.
And it gets rid of some of those monster hideouts.
Yeah.
Oh crap! I forgot about that. Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get nailed.
Alright,
Yeah.
we'll see if this is the last flip. Oh, I don't know what that means.
0.
Riftland.
We
So
get
it's
to put
just
1.
You
of
just fill in
anything.
1. Right. One of any terrain type.
Well, there you go. Well, I gotta make that village into another something. For in game, I'll do that. So I put this here that I can get 1 more for the scoring of force when we get to that.
So I'm stuck in this decision making of, do I take that so I can get the 3 points, but it's only gonna help me out with 1 monster space, or do I put it where I can get rid of a couple other monster spaces, but I won't get to score that?
This is gonna be a rough round.
Yeah,
this
well,
is
it's
gonna
be
suck.
rough monster-wise, 'cause I think I'm better off getting the
I'm-
3 points, because that would still just.
I'm taking it worse than any of y'all. That's gonna be bad.
I think I'm going to put.
Oh God, I forgot about monster negatives. I'm going to be reminded.
Just take that.
I don't think it much matters what terrain type I put here
It's only the orthogonals, right?
Oh, that would then
for
be-
adjacency,
For the monsters.
Yes.
So I'm gonna be like 1,
but it's
2,
only the spaces. So
3, 4,
yeah, I'm gonna get hammered with
5,
monsters
6,
this
7,
time.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You don't double count, right?
No,
Okay.
you don't double. You're just counting the spaces. So
Ugh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The ones up top.
So it's not got a score for that, but it might score for it later.
Oh no, I did mess up. That's still just got 2 terrain types. It's not adjacent to the stupid monster. Oh, I messed up. Oh well, I got 1 monster space filled in. But
Oh, well.
yeah, I could have done better on that.
Okay, well, we still got another flip. 'cause
Oh,
that was
yeah.
0.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I was
Now we're
thinking
done.
that was it.
So
Now
now we
we'll
got
be
an
done.
orchard.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, forest or fields?
Time to get rid of some monsters. Man, that's a hard choice.
I think if I do that,
I've
I
already
could get
got
rid of-
those, so that actually, no, it's not as hard as I thought. It
if I
wouldn't
do,
gain me any
if I
points
do this
later.
with forest, I could. Then this would be adjacent to 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah, don't be greedy. Alright. Let's see, so it's 3, right? Yeah, 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice score.
All right. Fun, fun.
Alright.
Okay, so this time we do B, which is cauldrons, which is still those little empty spaces. I've still got just the one.
I got 1 this time, because I managed to get that.
Okay.
I have, I think, diddly squat.
So 1 for B for Larry,
Pretty sure.
and I have just 1,
Yeah, I got nothing.
I think.
Alright.
Okay. And then C that's where we score our villages that are a cluster of villages adjacent to 3 different terrain types.
I got 1.
I believe I have, so 1, which is this one.
Mhm.
It's adjacent to the fields, the water, and the mountain,
And the woods.
and the forest. Okay,
I forgot that the mountain counted. Or I wouldn't have put the
Yeah,
forest
she
there.
got us on this
so
one.
you've got 3.
I should have put forest in a different spot.
Okay.
Oops.
Oh,
And
wow.
I should have 3,
You do.
so 9 points for that.
I got 6.
Now the fun part. Oh, and then our coins. I have 3 coins.
Oh, yeah.
I have
5.
3. Because I didn't get
And
another
Larry's got
mountain
3
building.
coins. Right.
Yeah.
Now fun monsters. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my gosh, 8, 9, 10, 12.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
1, 2, 3,
So that wiped out all but one of my points that I earned this time.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hate monsters.
I got a 10.
Let's see, 1,
I get 3
2,
points.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yay!
Oh, 8. Yeah.
I think you've only got 8.
Yeah, I was
1,
counting
2,
diagonal too.
3,
No.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no, 9.
9.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, this is.
I lost points on this round.
All right,
Sometimes the
9.
monsters
Let me
are.
double check mine. 1, 2, 3,
Horrible.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, whoosh. That's pretty rough. Okay, so I've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and minus 12, a whopping 1.
So I got a -2.
So it was -2, 1, 3.
3.
Woo!
Rough having two monsters come out in one round.
Oh, that was harsh. But we got to add in a monster.
What did you say you had? Minus
-2.
2.
I have a whopping 8
Yeah,
points.
7 and minus 9.
Check it out.
It's
1,
hard being a
2,
cartographer.
3, 4.
I'm not used to
Especially in a
making
fantasy
maps.
world where monsters jump out
Right.
at you.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was wrong. It's -9. So I got.
Cheater.
So I got 2 points.
Small drink. All right. Okay,
Alright,
so
summer's
now we're in fall.
Fall only has 7.
And D.
And we're doing C and
Right, the
D
seasons
for
are shorter.
scoring. Alright.
So we're still scoring villages that have at least 3 different terrain types adjacent to them. And then this one is 2 points for, or 2 reputation stars for water spaces adjacent to a mountain, and 1
Or
reputation
village.
star for a field adjacent to a mountain.
And we get homestead, so
Yes.
village and farms.
That's a tough one. I don't want to fill in ruins. I gotta fill in ruins if I want to. That's gonna bite me. If I do that, it's gonna bite me.
I gotta do something about these monsters.
Gotta do it.
I think I could put it there and take out a couple of monster spaces and be adjacent to 2 terrain
Yeah,
types.
That's what I'm thinking too.
And we don't score the monsters anymore, do we?
Yes.
Or do we continue to
Yes,
score the
every
negatives on the
round.
monsters?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we'll
wanna get
we'll
rid
score
of
those every
monsters.
time, so you still want to keep trying to fill in around those monsters. That is a good spot for that. And that's village for you, right?
No, that's
Or
farms.
farm, sorry.
And but that gets me another coin. For
Okay.
oh no, wait, sorry, it's still got an empty space on the
Yeah,
other side of the
an empty
mountain.
space.
Ugh.
Yeah, farm, so that'll get
That's
you a point
2.
there. You were that was a good space for you either way, because if you had put a village there, it would have already been adjacent to 2 terrain types, and you could have maybe filled in one there for
Oh,
that one.
I
So
could
you're,
have
right.
maybe.
That's
Yeah, maybe.
That's a rough one. Yeah.
But you've got,
Riftlands. That
This
would
got
have
you
helped.
That
2
would have
points
done
for
it.
sure. Well, this way you're getting 2 points.
Well,
'cause
I'm
you've
getting
got
the 2 points for
adjacent
that,
to
and
a
it's
mountain.
getting rid of a lot of negatives
Yes,
from
yeah,
monsters.
that-
So I got rid of 3 negative monster points.
Yes, like I said, that was a good, perfect spot for you either way.
But
Okay, so Riftlands
now we do have a
is our
village.
choice of one little spot anywhere.
Actually, I have an idea. If I Riftland a village right there,
Yep.
then I could probably get a 3rd by teeing something in on the
Right.
temple.
Yep, that's a good. Here I am giving you tips.
Hey, I need all the tips I can get. I got like 8 points.
Man, this is gonna be hard to get another village.
All right. Where am I
But
gonna?
it will fill in a thing. So that's gonna be another coin.
Well, I am collecting no coins either.
I don't know if it's the right thing to do. We'll see.
How many points are coins worth at the end?
1 point apiece.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah,
every
well,
round.
you score them each
Yeah.
round.
No,
so,
yeah.
And you score the same ones you've already got again.
Alright.
All right, I'm still trying to decide if I
Money
wanna-
grabber.
Yes.
Yeah. Why not?
Yes, so much so.
That's still.
Gotta buy that pudding somehow.
Jello.
I wonder if I
We're at
will-
war with the pudding.
All right, I'm just gonna put it right there.
All right, so that was a 0, so we're still at 2.
That was a terrible idea. Now that I think about it.
Great River. It's a 1. We got water.
Okay. Water. And remember, water scores if it's adjacent to mountains now. That would wipe out monsters for me. I like that. Or I could make it stair step here and fill in a mountain and get points.
It's got 1, 2, it does not have a 3rd, so I can't go over there.
That way it would fill in a monster and touch a mountain on 2 sides. That probably is a good way to go.
And a dang temple.
Look for the small one.
But
All right.
that does score me a coin because I
You
did
will-
finally get that mountain surrounded.
Okay. Yeah, you'll get a coin, and that gets you points on both sides there.
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay.
I had to fill in a temple, but it's fine. And that was only one, so we're still only on 3. Icing. It's an icing village. It's cake.
Village needed a name. Fishing village.
She's going for
Was that
my-
a fishing? Okay, I thought that was an E. It's an F. Okay.
Oh, yeah, fishing,
Fishing
village.
village.
Larry's looking at the cards upside down.
Okay, so do I do a village with 1, 2, and then, or do I do water? I don't really need water next to mountains anymore.
I've got 1, 2, 3. Make that.
Getting there to these monster spots is killing me here.
3, so that would give me another.
I keep thinking I really should put something here to get rid of all those monsters, but it's so tempted to do those villages and try to get more points.
I hate.
And that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could still touch something else to it over here.
See, that one's got
There.
2 currently.
Wiped out a couple of monster spaces there.
I'm hedging myself in.
Nice. That was a good move, Larry.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. That was very
Yeah.
tidy.
See, I can't
That was a
do-
little quick 3
I
points
can
and
do
wiped out a monster.
but if
4
I did
points.
water, that would get rid of 2 negatives. Yeah, I'm just gonna go here to here.
All right, we're 5 points into summer, so we're still in summer.
Oh,
Oh, no.
No raid.
All right, now we're going
No, it goes the other
counterclockwise.
way, so I
Yes.
fill in Wendy this time.
How do I get to mess with you?
Right? Oh, no. Wow, it goes that way, so I still fill in Pat.
Yours goes to Pat,
Yeah.
Pat's goes to Wendy.
and mine
Wendy
goes to you.
to you.
Yeah, you fill
You
in.
get this one.
Larry fills in Wendy's. I'll fill in Pat's. With this funky little.
So Wendy
C-shaped
gets
thing.
a C-shaped thing.
Where can I put a C shape to mess you up? Do we need to trade places?
Really want to punish Larry. Because revenge! Oh, jeez. But I really can't, because to make it fit, I mean, if I put it here, then I'm giving you a point, which I don't want to do. It's 3, right?
There, that would be
Shape line? Yeah, it's a
2,
C.
3.
You're giving you a point here if I do that.
That was as mean as I could be to Wendy, I think.
I could do it here.
Oh, I filled in next to a mountain for you, though.
No, there's still one here.
Yeah, but still.
Well, it's
Yeah,
going to
it's
be
hard
very
to-
hard to fill in. She did the same thing to me because she's evil. All right. Yeah, I think I'll go.
Would you do this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is that right?
No.
No. Yeah, because this one's empty.
Okay.
So it's like this. I don't know.
Too late. You already colored it in.
I did. I screwed up. I give
No
you a
pencils in
point
this
here
game.
and a point here. Darn it.
Well, we're done scoring. We're done scoring that one. Are you talking about the point for the empty space?
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, we don't.
Okay,
We won't score
never
that
mind.
one again, so you don't have to think about that one.
Good. Then he'll be just negatives on those. 1, 2, 3, 4. So actually, that's not bad. All right. So we're at. What did
so-
you do to me? You are the worst.
So nulls are gone. No more nulls.
Nobody likes Knowles.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Probably.
So we've got
Still fall.
ruins.
Pumpkins and cider.
Ruins. You keep turning.
Oh, was there 2 ruins?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Yep. Keep turning.
And marshland.
That's weird. Okay.
Huh. Interesting. And
So we
this-
just still only do one, right?
Right.
We don't do on 2 different
Right.
ruins. Okay.
Yeah, it's still just the one card.
Marshlands. Ruin.
Man. Ugh. And it's got to cover a run.
And what's our time now? 1, 2,
We're done.
4.
1,
Oh,
2,
okay. So I got to
3,
cover
4,
up as
5,
many
6, 7,
monsters
yeah.
as possible here.
This is the end of fall.
Okay. Good time to cover up monsters.
What if it is not possible to put on a ruin?
Then you fill in one
What?
single square with any terrain type you want.
Because
It
it
doesn't
is
have to even-
physically impossible for me to put that on a ruin.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have enough for the. Don't have enough there, and that's your only. Yeah, and you can't fit it there.
And I can't do it there
Right.
either because it's,
Yeah, so you just have to fill in one square.
and it doesn't have to be on a ruin.
Correct.
Cool. So
If
now
you
I can use it
can't,
to.
then you fill in one square anywhere, and it's any of the terrain types. It could be a monster if you wanted.
Well,
You could make a monster on your map.
yeah, because that's a good
Like right out in the
idea.
middle somewhere.
You're right. 1, 2, 3. I could also use it to fill in.
I got lucky there. I had a ruin right there.
Oh, man, that's a mountain. I can't do that.
So I'm going to use it to get rid of one of Pat's negatives that you gave me, plus score
I
another
don't
point.
think I can put that anywhere that's going to help me with monsters,
There.
which really stinks.
Oh, the monsters.
The
I'm
monsters
again
are
getting.
terrible.
Oh my God! You just ripped me one with the monsters.
Because I can put it here, but that's not on an outpost. So let's see. Do I have any place? I might not be able to fit that on an outpost either. Because it won't fit there because I don't have 3. Shut up. Why do you have to point out things that are obvious?
I'm just being.
Well, that's not going to be helpful to me at all. Well, I guess it will get me points
It'll
for
get you a
having.
point.
It'll get me a little point for a couple of points for having water adjacent to a mountain. We'll just roll with that then, because that's really all I can do.
All right.
Okay.
That's fall. So we're scoring C and D.
Right.
All right. I've got 3, 3, 3.
Didn't get that one. Or that one.
1,
Oh, I left points on the board.
2. Yeah, I couldn't get that one, but I did get that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 12.
That's only adjacent to the 1. That's only adjacent to 2.
12. And
That's adjacent to 2.
we're scoring, is it D? Oh, D's the one
We're
with
scoring-
the round mountains.
Yeah. C and D. So I'm still just at 9, unfortunately, on C.
So I got 9 for C.
Okay.
D.
I got super lucky on that last one. Super lucky. Oh my god. Yeah. So, alright.
All right, and 2 points for each water space adjacent to a mountain.
1, 2, 3, 4. And then also for fields.
10.
So 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, pretty sure. 8.
21.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4,
21?
5, 6,
Yeah,
7.
2 for each water and 1 for each field.
1
so
for each field,
21.
right.
I've been working on that one for a while.
Nicely
Yeah, that's
done.
very well
That
done.
is
Yeah.
really gonna help you out. Oof. So 1, 2,
It's all those wonderful
3,
mountain
4,
lakes.
5,
2, 3,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh god, you suck.
Thank you.
Oh my god,
1,
that's
2, 3.
painful. So 15.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I've got 11.
And I still.
That's horrible.
I counted it twice and still, I got 11 both times. And I've
I'll
still
do it
just
again.
got 3
1,
coins, which
2,
is terrible.
So I got 7 negative for monsters.
Okay. And you're at 4
Let me get
coins.
my
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Pat kind of screwed me with that new
21,
monster
30,
thing. I was doing so
34.
good getting rid of.
Minus 7. What's 34 minus 7? 27?
27.
27.
Oh man, that is a good
That's
round.
a really good one.
Oh. Actually, she's going to do well too, though.
No, I got too much monsters. Too many monsters. So 19, 20, 21, 22, minus 11. 11.
Yeah, those monsters hurt.
Right, they killed us last time.
Okay, so there goes
All right,
fall.
bye, Fall.
Give me the next monster.
Monster.
Shuffle them up good. All right, and then we'll be scoring D and A this
And
time.
winter is only 6 cards long. Or 6.
Let's see, I need a forest.
So we're back to thinking about
4.
forests and columns and rows.
And we're still doing around
Just
mountains.
The water and the fields around mountains. Right.
Okay, but forests and columns and rows.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need forests because that is something I have been seriously.
Sprawling forests.
I've been lacking forest ground. I like my water.
Yeah.
All right, so we're starting off. Hey, there we go. Interland streams.
No forests, but
No forests, but there's water and fields.
water and fields.
So the last
All
one's
right.
D. And, alright.
So I guess I really need to attempt to. Oh, this is just no good.
This is good.
Yeah, it gets more difficult. Those big shapes especially get more difficult in the last round.
Well, I've got to do.
I've only got one.
I can get rid of a
I've
bunch of
only got one
monsters.
physical place where I can put that. I think.
I do too, and it's not going to help me on points. Not at all.
Okay, I've
All
got
I'm
2.
doing is getting rid of some monsters.
I can't even
I can't
do
even-
that.
Yeah, me neither.
So I guess I'm gonna have to do water.
How
Would
horrible.
be good. I guess.
Erase some of the monsters somebody gave me.
Yeah, I can't even do that. I can put it here. I can
No,
put it right
fields.
here.
Do
That's really, I
fields,
think, the
Larry.
only place I can make
Oh
it
wait,
fit.
but we're not scoring C ever again, so it doesn't really matter if I do that.
Correct.
So actually, leaving gaps would be good. No, leaving gaps
No.
doesn't matter either. So
A and D.
um,
B and C are dead.
So it doesn't really matter where I put this.
Well, unless you put it on a mountain, but I think you've done all that.
Yeah, I think that's the only place I can
Yeah,
put
all
it.
your mountains
so,
are already closed, so there's no.
So the least amount of damage that this can do is if I do this.
That helped me 0.
Yep.
Help
Helped
us
me
with
none.
monsters. I'm glad to see that. All right.
All right, so that was 2
Yes, and winter's only 6, so
farmlands.
bang
So
for our buck.
3.
Hmm. All right. So.
Oh, but that's easy.
hey,
That gets rid of. Oh, and that gives me a point.
yeah, I think I'm gonna go here to cover up some monsters and be adjacent to a mountain. That worked out nicely, I guess.
Mhm. And it gets you a coin.
Yeah, got me a coin. Got me a coin.
Taking a chance.
Alright.
Taking a chance in the dead of winter.
Forests. Forest.
Oh, I forgot to get.
Here we go.
Wait.
Marshlands.
All right.
Where will this maximize my marshland?
We're getting all these large shapes
Yeah, but
that
it's
are
too big to
hard that are
maximize.
hard to
I
fit in.
think, yeah. I don't think I have anywhere that would fit.
I can fit it here. It's not really gonna. It'll get me a few points.
I cannot.
If I put it
I
there,
can literally not put it anywhere.
and that will cover up a couple of monsters.
Let's see. If we're doing D and A, all right. So I
Right.
can put. If you can't do it, then you do a single, right?
Right. A single one of those terrain types.
This closer to a mountain, maybe. I'll get rid of a monster. Oh, that was dumb. If I'd have put it here, then I would have gotten a mountain. That's so dumb. Oh well. Alright, so we're at 6.
I still gotta put a forest down. Give me a second.
So the next
So-
scoring one, we will be at end.
We are. Well, we're at 5 right now.
So that'll give me
Well,
a
6 is the end of winter.
Unless
Okay,
it comes
so-
up one of those 0 single
Mhm.
outpost things
Or the
something.
last monster.
Yeah. Or the last monster. Let's not. Don't draw a monster, Larry.
Hamlet. Not helpful.
But in the
You
round.
can get a coin out of it.
We're at a village
Actually,
somewhere.
plus it'll get rid of a monster, so that's the way to do it. Alright, so that is easy.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna fill it in here where I can get rid of monsters.
So I'm gonna get 2 coins. One
We're
for
gonna
this,
get 2
one for
monsters.
this. So
Get rid of 2 monsters and get a coin.
No, I would have liked to have gotten a coin off of that for my filling in my other mountain, but I got rid of 2 points for that, so I still get a point for
The coin?
using the 3
Using the
bird.
3? Alright.
Yeah, because I went there to get rid of the 2 monster
Yeah.
points.
Yep.
Alright.
Alright.
Alright, so now we
Alright,
scored,
that's the end of winter.
scored D and A.
So D, I'm getting 1, 2,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I think I just got 10 again.
mine didn't change. I got 21 again.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
You're scoring the water is 2, correct?
No.
Water scores is 2. Field
Water
score
scores
is
2
1.
fields or 1.
Oh, I
Oh, I forgot my
totally
field.
screwed myself.
You didn't do that
Should
last
have
time,
11.
did you?
No. Okay, so water scores is 2.
Mm-hmm.
Water's 2 point. Yeah, each
So I'll
water
just score
adjacent to
one
mountain
more. So
is-
1, 2, 3. So I get 3 more. So that's 12. No, I didn't. I
4,
didn't do that.
6,
Did you get that many last time?
10, and then 11.
It's hard to tell.
I would have only had 2 more. Okay, 3 more. Never mind. It's fine.
Right, and now we're scoring A. So this is fields and rows and columns.
Yeah.
Or not fields, but trees.
Yeah, forests.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 20. I missed 2. Oh.
2, 3. Oh, sorry, Larry. I'm just covering yours up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 14 here.
I also got 14.
Okay. And what'd you get on the
21
other one?
still.
Ooh, 21. All right.
And those aren't your points. You're marking them in blue. What the heck?
I got tired of switching back and forth between pins. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coins.
10.
I'll let you add up your
Coins. And monsters.
5 coins.
I covered all those.
Oh, I did
Got
good on that.
1,
2.
I think I only lost
4,
5 on monsters
5.
this time.
Yeah, I lost 5
1,
as well.
2, 3, 4.
So,
Yeah.
And I lost a whopping 2.
30.
Good job. You kicked butt this round. So those canceled out. 24, 14, 25.
Oh my God, Larry! Yeah, you did really well. You really came in on the
Yeah.
last 2.
I think you got the hang of it. By
Yeah,
the
I think
last-
by the last 2
by
rounds,
fall
finally.
and winter.
Well, I was kept scoring D, knowing that it would eventually score.
It's eventually going to pay off for you. Yeah.
And forest, I didn't end up as bad as I thought because I have this long meandering forest that scored.
Yeah. Yeah, that one you put on there early it ends up. They come back around. I like the way that works.
So 21.
25, 35, 36, 37, 47. Not too good.
So I
Oh,
got
we didn't-
40 for my last
21,
round.
30, 44.
Holy
Oh, no, wait a minute.
crap, Larry!
No, I'm sorry.
So 40.
I gave you
So
40. Yeah.
40.
I was giving you positive points instead of negative for your
Yeah,
monsters.
it was 21. Yeah, it was 30,
21,
34,
28,
35.
38, 42. Yeah, 40.
No, 42. It was 21.
28, 38, 42 minus 2.
Okay, 42 minus 2. Yeah, you were right. Okay. And I was right the first time. I just
67.
65, 75.
You won. Yeah.
Woo!
Well done.
Cool.
Yep. Even with the negative 2 there, summer was rough on you, but you ended up
Oh my God. Yeah.
making up for it in winter.
Fall and winter, you stomped. Holy crap.
Winter is coming.
Well done.
I like
Well done.
this game actually.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
a
a
fun
neat
game.
pretty
game.
good.
Yeah.
I could see how playing this, if we'd had more remote players, it could have caused some minor issues. But
Reading the cards would be hard, but I don't know.
And keep in mind with this one, you're not limited to 4 players. There's really no upper limit on how many people can play this, so it's good for groups.
it would just
You can play it solo. It's really very flexible as far as player count.
Yeah, because everybody tracks their own stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
everybody tracks their own stuff. Everybody's scoring off the same cards.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And you
goblin
have
attack.
you have a little bit of interaction when the monsters come out, and you get to
Oh, you get to mess with people.
mess with people. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Man. Oof.
So hope you all enjoyed this one.
Oh yeah, yeah.